So today, we have DC's Trinity taking on Marvel's Big Three. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, starting us off is Captain America. Enhanced by the super soldier serum to low superhuman levels, Steve Rogers is the human pinnacle that any man could be one day. He's strong enough to lift 2 tons, durable enough to easily keep on fighting after being shot and or stabbed, and is fast enough to easily and consistently dodge point-blank bullets. He's arguably the greatest fighter, strategist, and tactician in all of Marvel, and his only weapon is his vibranium shield, which is virtually unbreakable and has been described as the best defensive as well as offensive weapon. He's a master of ricocheting it off walls and other surfaces to hit opponents from behind or the side as well. And one of his partners is Iron Man. Tony Stark is one of the smartest people in the world and will be wearing his bleeding edge armor for this fight. It allows him to lift 100 tons, fly at supersonic speeds, and has force fields powerful enough to withstand blasts from Final Form Ultron. Other than just repulsor blast and his unibeam, the suit allows him to materialize any weapon he can think of into his hands with just a thought. Weapons like energy blades, energy boxing gloves, massive cannons and lasers, energy hammers, stuff like that, energy shields, stuff like that. And finally, he's a master tactician and strategist as well. And finally, Thor. As the Asgardian god of thunder, he's one of the most powerful Asgardians to have ever existed. His strength and durability is on par with Hulk and Hercules. He wields Mjolnir and he's very skilled in using it as a blunt weapon, but it allows him to fly at light speed, project powerful lightning blasts, control and manipulate the weather and the elements, turn invisible and intangible, absorb energy, manipulate matter, and project the God Blast. He also has the Anti-Force as well. And finally, despite only using a brawling style of fighting, he has thousands of years of training and fighting experience as well. So, that's what we have in one corner, Marvel's Big Three, the top 3 faces in Marvel. But in the other corner, we have DC's Trinity. And starting us off here is Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman, the Dark Knight. He's achieved mental and physical perfection, being one of the smartest people in the world and being almost superhuman physically. He's arguably the greatest fighter in all of comics, being a master of 127 martial art and fighting styles. His suit is, for all intents and purposes, is bulletproof and tear resistant. He carries several gadgets on him at all times, like batarangs, sonic batarangs, grappling hooks, bat claw, smoke pellets, and freeze bombs. And finally, he's an excellent strategist and tactician as well. And one of his partners is Wonder Woman. Diana is the daughter of Zeus and the finest Amazonian warrior. Her strength and durability is on par with Superman's, and although she isn't as fast as Clark in terms of flying or running, her reflexes are actually superior to Clark's. She's a master hand-to-hand combatant and a master in basically all melee fighting as well. She carries many magical weapons like the Lasso of Truth, magically a strong and durable sword and shield, and her golden bracelets, which are virtually indestructible as well. If crossed together, they can form an impenetrable barrier in front of her as well. And finally, Superman. As a Kryptonian, Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, absorbs yellow solar energy from the sun continuously, which is the source of his powers. His strength is on par with Shazam, Black Adam's, and Doomsday's. He's practically invulnerable to all physical harm, and he can run, fly, move, and react much faster than light speed. He has tremendously enhanced senses. He has heat vision that rivals the heat of a star, and a super/freeze breath. And finally, he's a skilled brawler as well. So, we have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman taking on Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. Who wins? Well, DC's Trinity has an advantage in that they have 2 mega powerhouses in Clark and Diana, while Marvel's Big Three only has 1 in Thor. But Marvel's Big Three also has an advantage in that they're all superhuman, and both teams have fantastic strategists in Captain America and Batman. So, I believe this fight will break down into 3 separate fights, and the deciding factor will be whoever can beat their opponent first and help out their partners will win the fight overall. So, obviously, Captain America and Batman will square off because they're the physical weak links. Captain America vs. Batman is a heavily debated fight, and for a good reason. Batman is damn near superhuman, is a slightly better fighter, and has a ton of gadgets, while Cap is physically superior, is almost just as good of a fighter, and has his vibranium shield. In my opinion, Cap eventually beats Bruce. Key word being eventually. This fight will take a long while to conclude. Next, we have Thor vs. Superman, another highly debated fight. Clark is slightly stronger, tougher, and is much faster, and has his heat vision and super/freeze breath, while Thor can hang in there physically, has much more fighting experience, and wields Mjolnir, which grants him a ton of versatility. Again, this fight will take a long while to finish. Now, for the odd fight between Iron Man and Wonder Woman. Now, I'm confident in saying that Tony can't beat Diana by himself. Not even in his bleeding edge armor and all that versatility it grants him. She's physically superior in every way, much better fighter, and she has magical weapons. There's no way he can win. But in this fight, he doesn't have to win. He just has to last long enough for one of his partners, preferably Thor, to help him out. So, can he last long enough? Well, he's strong enough to knock out Red Hawk with his punches and to stagger the actual Hawk. His force fields have held up to blasts from Final Form Ultron, and with his bleeding edge armor, he has created energy blades, big cannons and lasers, energy boxing gloves, shields, etc. Plus his repulsor blast and unibeam. So, I do believe Tony can hold his own against Diana for a while, just not long enough. I believe Diana will beat Tony first and then help her partners, leading to Marvel's Big Three's downfall. Even if Tony could last long enough against Diana, it's not guaranteed that Cap or Thor will win their fights. Even if I switched Iron Man and Thor and had Thor take on Wonder Woman and Tony take on Clark, the result would still be the same. Thor vs. Wonder Woman is a good fight and would take a long while to finish, while Clark could probably dispose of Tony faster than Diana could. Any way you look at it, DC's Trinity is just too much for Marvel's Big Three. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman win. Like and subscribe, all the great stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!